Welcome to the Toon Time Late Show. I'm your host, Toon Time, and today's topic is Marriage Monday. Uh, Thank you for joining. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, like, and share. Marriage Monday, and I have something that I would like to play for you guys. And this is speaking about marriage, and it's 1 Corinthians 7. And here we go.
Of which you wrote to me. It is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, because of sexual immorality, let each man have his own wife, and let each woman have her own husband. Let the husband render to his wife the affection due her, and likewise also the wife to her husband. The wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband does. And likewise the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife does. Do not deprive one another except with consent for a time, that you may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again so that Satan does not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. But I say this as a concession, not as a commandment. For I wish that all men were even as I myself. But each one has his own gift from God, one in this manner and another in that. But I say to the unmarried and to the widows, it is good for them if they remain even as I am. But if they cannot exercise self-control, let them marry. For it is better to marry than to burn with passion. Now to the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord. A wife is not to depart from her husband. But even if she does depart, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband. And a husband is not to divorce his wife. But to the rest, I, not the Lord, say, if any brother has a wife who does not believe, and she is willing to live with him, let him not divorce her. And a woman who has a husband who does not believe, if he is willing to live with her, let her not divorce him. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Otherwise your children would be unclean, but now they are holy. But if the unbeliever departs, let him depart. A brother or a sister is not under bondage in such cases. But God has called us to peace. For how do you know, O wife, whether you will save your husband? Or how do you know, O husband, whether you will save your wife? But as God has distributed to each one, as the Lord has called each one, so let him walk. And so I ordain in all the churches, was anyone called while circumcised? Let him not become uncircumcised. Was anyone called while uncircumcised? Let him not be circumcised. Circumcision is nothing, and uncircumcision is nothing, but keeping the commandments of God is what matters. Let each one remain in the same calling in which he was called. Were you called while a slave? Do not be concerned about it. But if you can be made free, rather use it. For he who was called in the Lord while a slave is the Lord's freedman. Likewise, he who is called while free is Christ's slave. You were bought at a price. Do not.
Okay, I wanted to just gonna stay right there because we want to get too far off. But it's giving you references of marriage and verses. The first 10 verses, we'll say. Well, it's for 15 verses. It's 20 total. So, what is marriage? What is marriage to you? And how do you view marriage? This is the key as far as far as marriage is concerned and concerning this verse. 1 Corinthians chapter 7. So we want to make sure that we are reverencing marriage for what it is, and that's what I'm talking about today. And so if you dive further into this verse, you will see how it's important to be married. Because as you heard, he said, if you're not married, be like me. Christ was not married, and he was able to not succumb to the temptations of the devil, or the enemy, I should call it, to be politically correct. Hey, if you would like to be on the show, you can contact me at sandgriggs1025@gmail.com. Okay. If you also would like to donate to this cause is a call for injustice. This media platform is set up for the injustice that has been done to our children. Shout out to our president, who is taking the time to hear the citizens for our cries. So we thank you for that. But if you would like to donate, you can donate at Cash App at TT1977C to the Messiah Foundation, which all proceeds go to legal fees for the parents of the children who are in the system. So this is what this is for. And shout out to my co-hosts who are not here. Shout out to them, wherever their endeavors are at this time, doing big things. We just wanted to take time to reverence you as well as and what we're talking about today. And we're talking about Marriage Monday. Now, if you would like to also call in, you can call in on the number on the screen. Okay, yeah, if you would like to call in, you can call in by calling in on the number on the screen, and so that we can dive into some great conversations. Now, we have an upcoming interview with a man called the Holy Ghost, who said he is sent by God, and that is coming up on the last Friday in March. Okay, so y'all make sure y'all tune in, because this is going to be epic, guys. He calls himself the Holy Ghost. So we're going to interview him, me and my co-host, and we're going to make sure that we get some good questions in, guys. So if you have any questions you would like me to ask the Holy Ghost, you can also put those in the comments, and we will pick one or two. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned in. Again, this is Marriage Monday. We're trying to motivate you into a good marriage, an honorable marriage. You heard the word. I'm not one to tell people how to live their lives far as what is for them. Especially concerning the marriage, nobody should get in between a marriage person. A marriage couple. So we just want to make sure that you understand that what marriages entails. So you can check out 1 Corinthians chapter 7 at your leisure time. If you would like to call in with a question that you would like to ask, you can call in at the number. And we're going to talk about, don't forget to subscribe to my page, to my YouTube, to my new YouTube channel. So it's new, guys, but again, we're going to promote until someone hears us. So we're going to dive right into our awareness segment. No, I want to go back to marriage. What is marriage? Marriage is a bond between a man and a woman. That's what marriage is, a bond and a covenant under God between a man and a woman. That's what marriage is. You have vowed to stay with this person till death do you part, to love, honor, cherish, and obey this person for the rest of your life. This is what marriage is. Also, how do you understand marriage? You understand marriage by understanding your spouse. Understanding your spouse. That's how you under the communication that you guys have between you two. No one can tell you how to run your marriage. They can only maybe relate to some situations that you may have encountered in your marriage, but no one can tell you how your marriage should play out. That's only solely up to you and your partner, you and your spouse. Is marriage honorable? Yes, marriage is honorable. Marriage is honorable because God is with you. If you pray to Him about your marriage, it does change things. I can't give you some spectacular story about how He's with you. I just know it. It's not something that I would doubt in that. I would just say He's with you if you pray to Him. He's honorable enough to pray for you. So the communication part is very important, and it's a very important tool to have during marriage. And so we want to make sure that y'all had that and know that. Alrighty then. So we will move right along into our awareness and justice here in Lawrence County. And I know the mere fact that I speak these words, it is disturbing to some people. But the mere fact that there are people here terrorizing the people of Lawrence County with their children and the juvenile justice court system, the click that is clicked up to take your child to adopt out to unjustifiable. And I this is very dear to my heart. So yes, I may seem emotional because I am, because it is wrong, because it is unhuman, it is satanic, it's terroristic. I mean, it is so many things that words can't even explain. And as a follower of Christ, and I must allow God to do His will instead of mine. But to bring justice to the illegal removal of children here in Lawrence County, Tennessee. And I don't think I have to say much because there are so many people watching. There are so many people that knows about this. There are so many people that hope that I would not say anything about this. Okay, there are so many people who are afraid for their lives. There are so many people that are still being terrorized. So if the world or the president or the Department of Justice or FBI or any authority figure that has range, jurisdiction over this should definitely be alerted, and they should do something. I'm calling on you as a citizen. I'm calling on you as a victim. I'm calling on you as to do your job here in Lawrence County. And yeah, I understand, like, well, why go this route? This is the route to go, because when you think that you can constantly continue to get away with this, something needs to be done. Now, I understand the people are afraid. Hey, I didn't get that trait, but it is what it is. So be aware of not just CPS or Department of Children's Services is coming at your door. Not that they made some type of report on you. It's deeper than that. It's bigger than that, and we all know. And I also wanted to point out that there were a total of 150 children here, Nashville, that were discovered 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago. I can say in the last 10 months, I've seen at least 200 be taken away from their parents here in Lawrence County. Mm-hmm. Check the records. Donald Trump, check the records. They need to go to jail. They need to go to jail just like they sentencing everybody to ridiculous sentences. They need to go to jail. They need to be disbarred. They need to be off the bench. They do not need to serve the public. I know how to judge. And what I'm judging is not justice. How about that? But that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone today. But till Friday, I'll be right back here reporting on the injustice and here in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, in Lawrence County, the juvenile justice system. And we will have the list of names. Remember, it's deeper than Diddy. Not another Diddy list. Okay, it's not another Diddy list. I'm your hostess with the mostest Tune Time. Remember, Tune Time is the right time to talk. Thank you for tuning in to my YouTube channel. Have a